Alright YouTube, just going to show you guys a video of two of the main scrap variants for this format that have been coming up. I'm going to show you my current deck list that I'll be using for the next 2 weeks until September, and I'll tell you the subtle changes I'm going to make once the new ban list comes out. But first I'll show you the scrap skeleton that all scrap decks need to be running at least. So you need to run 3 Scrap Chimeras. Whenever he's normal summoned, you can grab 1 Scrap Tuner, level 4 or below, but there's only those, and special summon to the field. So as soon as you play him, it's an automatic scrap. If you have a Goblin or a Beast in there, it's an automatic Scrap Archfiend or a Scrap Dragon, depending on which one you grab. He can only be used to sync Scrap monsters, Scrap Synchros, so you can only get Scrap Dragon and Scrap Archfiend with him. Luckily, Scrap Dragon's awesome. So you need to run 3 of those, and these are skyrocketing in price, guys, so pick them up while you can before they get to 15 to 20. They're at like 10 right now. They started off around 5. Scrap Beast, your level 4 Scrap Tuner. He's got his first effect is if this face-up defensive position monster is attacked and he isn't destroyed, which no one would really attack him with anything 1300 or less. So I mean that doesn't even matter. But when he's destroyed by a scrap effect, you get to grab a scrap monster from your graveyard, level 4 or below, and add it to your hand. So that's good for getting Chimera. It's good for getting a Chimera out, but we'll tell you the scrap effect that you usually use to kill this guy, since his own effect does not really ever go off. Okay, so you need 3 of those, and 3 Scrap Goblins. This guy's awesome. He can't be destroyed by battle, so we'll just say we play him face down defense mode, and he gets attacked by, we'll just say this is a Ryo. So Ryo attacks, flips him face up. He's got the same effect as Scrap Beast. So he's either going to stick around because he can't be destroyed by battle, or they're going to attack him again, and when he gets attacked again, he still won't be destroyed until his effect goes off, which is after the battle phase, and then you'll be able to grab a scrap monster from your graveyard, add it to your hand, whether it be a Chimera or a Beast. You can't grab another Scrap Golem. He can't grab himself, sadly, but still awesome card. You got to run that in 3. Next card, 2 Scrap Golems. We'll just say that last turn he decided not to attack it the second time to trigger his effect. Well, what we would turn around and do if we had it in our hand, we tribute Scrap Goblin for a Scrap Golem. Once per turn, he can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Scrap monster from your graveyard to the field. So we just special summon him right back. That's 8 right there, and that's a universal 8. So that can be a Stardust, a Thought Ruler, Scrap Dragon, anything you want, and that's a once per turn thing. So he doesn't have to be special summoned or anything like that. So you could Monster Reborn him in the next format, or call the Haunted him out in the field, and then instantly get what you need to make whatever fits the situation. And eventually we're going to get a Twin Scrap Dragon, so that's whenever you would use his effect to grab a Scrap Beast, and then you would sync 9. He's a 9 star monster. And you can't sync Mistworm, because the Mistworm requires 2 or more non-tuner monsters, so pretty much you'd only use you would only use Scrap Goblin at this point. So you run those in 2s. So here's your standard skeleton so far. 2 Golems, 3 Goblins. Why are these all out of order? 3 Goblins, 3 Beasts, and 3 Chimeras. The rest of the scrap scrap monsters are really easy to come by, but those Scrap Chimeras are skyrocketing. Alright, and my variant, not my variant, but the variant I will be running this weekend, and the first variant we'll be talking about, is Gravekeepers. Gravekeepers are awesome. They have high defense, and Gravekeeper Spy in particular, whenever she's attacked to flip face up, she's going to special summon a Gravekeeper with 1500 or less attack into face up defense or face up attack position. So I mean, that'd be an easy Gravekeeper's Descendant, which you could use to pop her and destroy a card on your opponent's side of the field. But it's also just gaining field presence and different cards to sync with. So you run 2 of those, 1 Descendant, and 1 guard just for good measure. You could run 3 spies and 1 guard and 1 Descendant, but it's usually you want to do a combo of Descendants and spies, and I just threw in a guard for flavor. Trag and Gorz. Trag for his obvious synchro compatibility and destroys OTKs, or stalls OTKs, as is Gorz. We all know what they do. I run 1 of each. especially this next format, that's going to be huge with all the destruction of the field. That's going to be running rampant. Summoner Monk, obvious what we're going to do with him. Also, with Gravekeepers, what you got to understand is that they're spellcasters, so I can get Arcanite Magician with him. I need 2 of them. I'll probably pick them up this weekend, but Arcanite Magician is going to be one of the main sinkers you use in the Gravekeeper build. So, same with Summoner Monk. You can also get a Summoner Monk. We all know what he does. From the hand, you ditch a magic card, you get to special summon level 4 or lower monster. So you usually grab a tuner and just use them to tune, free tune. Summoner Monk's awesome. 3 Scrap Storms. Okay, this is the scrap effect that you're going to use to blow up your Scrap Beast and your Scrap Goblin if need be. Let me go ahead and show you the combo, the most common combo you'll see with this card. Scrap Beast face up attack mode, because it has to be face up for you to use Scrapstorm on. Say even you play that and they trap hole it or something, you'll play Scrapstorm. Scrapstorm is a very interesting card. It's got like phases to it. Okay, the first thing you do when you do that, you will throw a scrap monster from your deck to your graveyard, and normally what you'll do is you'll throw a Chimera to the graveyard. So we'll just keep that in mind. Next you will shuffle and then draw a card, any card, and then this guy will get destroyed. So, bringing this card to your hand, because he's with the Scrap Beast effect, he's being destroyed by a Scrap effect, so you will get Chimera to your hand. So obviously next turn you could play Chimera, special him out, and get a Scrap Dragon, or get a Scrap Dragon. So it's a good card. You get to draw, and it gets the cards you need in the graveyard, and it counts as a Scrap Destruction effect for Beast and Goblin. Awesome card. It takes a little playing to get used to, but you can use it to counter, like if you summon and they drop a Torrential Tribute or a Bottomless Trap Hole, obviously that is ideal card to have. So we'll just go ahead and put those aside. Next is Scrapyard. It's a very straightforward, and you run 3 Scrap Storms, I forgot to say. It's a very straightforward, Scrapyard's a very straightforward card. Lets you grab 1 Scrap Tuner from your deck and add it to your hand. So good if you're in a pinch. Could be a dead draw late game, so we only run 2. Book of Moon times 2. You guys all know what they do. The rest of this stuff is pretty much staples, and you just add in what as you see fit. I'm probably going to do a Scrapkeeper video and and the other Scrap variant video after this. I won't do it all in one. Allure of Darkness, because we have a ton of dark targets. All the Gravekeepers, Tragoedia, Gorz, Summoner Monk, all targets for Allure. So there's nothing wrong with running him. The rest is staples. Because we are tuner heavy, brain and mind. Then more staples. Okay. And I'll just go ahead and go over the changes after the ban list. Pretty much the cards you'd be getting rid of out of this deck would be... You don't have to get rid of that, but I will be. Brain, heavy. Okay, and I'll be replacing the Heavy Storm with another MST. The Brain Control will be the Monster Reborn, and the Torrential Tribute will actually be the Dark Hole. So those are the changes after September 1st. Deck doesn't change that much. I'll go ahead and end this video right now. Actually, you know what? I won't. I'm going to go over the sinkers real quick. This is your boss monster. He's awesome. Yeah, he's a universal sink, so you'll be seeing these in other decks. But what he does is he can pop 1 card on your side of the field and 1 card on your opponent's side of the field. So if you have a Scrap Beast or something over here, that would count as a Scrap effect, destroying it, and you get to do your search. Also, when he's destroyed by an opponent's effect or damage or anything, if he's destroyed, you get to take 1 Scrap monster out of your graveyard and special summon it onto the field. And that could be a Scrap Golem, in which you could just turn around and special summon a Scrap Goblin and just get another dragon. The chains with this deck are awesome. They're just simply awesome. He can't blow up himself and an opponent's card, and then you get the... He can do that, but you wouldn't get the effect because he has to be destroyed by an opponent's card effect or battle or anything from the opponent that destroys his card. That includes Royal Oppression, will allow him to do his search. So it's really cool. Next, Scrap Archfiend. Just your level 7 beater that you'd use with Chimera and Goblin. And the other big synchro for the Scrapkeepers is Arcanite Magician. I don't have one right now. You need to run 2 whenever you do get him. Yeah. And whenever he's synchro summoned, he gets 2 spell counters put on him, and you can remove spell counters to blow up cards on the field. So it's just more destruction. So that's called Scrapkeepers. Keep an eye out for it. It's going to be hitting your locals probably soon. And also, if you pull Scrap Dragons, Scrap Chimeras, hang on to them, guys, because they're going to be going up. Scrapstorms and Scrapyards, all going to be going up. So here's the first video. I'll go ahead and publish it, and I'll get to work on the second one.